Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to Scotland. Right off the bat, I have been here since 9:30 last night and the sun set at 10. We went for a little sunset walk on the beach where on the private beach resort area where we're staying for the workshop, which doesn't start till tomorrow. But I mean, this is what we found, and I scouted this out yesterday and I found this spot with this flower right there. And there's a rainbow, like you couldn't ask for a more perfect spot for a rainbow and flowers. And oh my God. So I need to, camera lady's dead asleep because it's 4:40 in the morning right now and it's bright. I need to get this rainbow shot before this goes away. So hold on a second. Oh, check this out. I just have my camera on this little post right here. That's what we're looking at. So 40th of a second, 16, f16, auto ISO, I don't even care. Just trying to frame it up nice so we got the flower, the rainbow, the water. All right, well, this is already more sunlight than I saw last year when I was here for a week or two. The most amazing thing I've ever seen. It's so green. I didn't, like, my eyes don't even register green, the color green anymore because, you know, desert living. And I don't think it's rained this year yet in New Mexico where I live, at least in the part of New Mexico that I live. And also, I ran out the door and I only grabbed my 16 to 35 and this rainbow is begging for like my 70 to 200. But I don't have it, so gotta work with what you got. All right, so I just got this time lapse going right here. F16, focusing on all that business there. 35 millimeters is the widest I can go. Nothing in the foreground for the time lapse, but I've got the rainbow and then this business and then the clouds. And I think that looks really good. So I'm half tempted to leave that there since like we're on a private resort. I might run back over there and grab my other camera. So this beach down here, you know, because we're here for mostly wildlife. I say mostly because, you know, I can't control myself when it comes to landscape out here with this stuff. But down here, look at this. So right there, yesterday, I saw an eider and some seals last night at sunset. And actually, I think I can see the eider right now floating in the water. I think that's him right there. So the official full workshop doesn't start for another 2 days, and I did want to do this vlog, and I don't vlog during my workshops. So, you know, just want to try to make this video for you guys before, and I don't really know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm thinking maybe I want to try to separate and maybe do this one as landscape and then focus on some wildlife, but I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like seeing like a mix of landscape and wildlife like in the same video, or do you like it if I like separate it and do like this one's all birding or this one's all like landscape stuff? I don't know. I can't even, this is stupid. This is pure stupidity. It's all right. I'm gonna go shoot some more on the phone and the Osmo. This is insane, but we'll see how it progresses. I am gonna go down there for birds here in a little bit and we'll see what happens. well, I missed the rainbow for the time-lapse, but I did get the time-lapse going. I put a filter on there. I've just got my Freewell 3 to 7 stop CPL, dark CPL. I love that thing. So I just wanted to kind of smooth the water out for the time-lapse. So since it's doing the time-lapse, I think I've got it like half a second or something like that. And that's just gonna help to make it not so choppy for, it's gonna smooth it out for the time-lapse. And that's a big help. Not so much for the polarizer because the sun's kind of behind me. I don't care about that, but this is more of a for the neutral density filter. I did get, hopefully, some shots of the rainbow at 35 mil and a couple at 16 mil with the flowers that I shot on the way up before I started vlogging. Hopefully those worked. This is just unreal. Magical doesn't even begin to like words. Sometimes, you know, it's not just English. Sometimes like humans just don't have a vocabulary that's adequate for describing the ridiculousness of our world. I think they even had a phrase for that in Algonquin. Like the way that Algonquin is spoken is the Native American language from the Northeast. They have like ways of describing things that like other languages can't deal. So maybe I should learn some Algonquin. This is ridiculous. All right, well, that's it for the light this morning for the time lapse. I think the sun's gonna start getting harsh. I mean, it's so green, and with a circular polarizer, I don't think it'll be harsh for a while, but I think I'm gonna wrap this one up so that I can go look at my photos. Maybe let's go jump into the computer, and I wanna edit, and I'll show you how I'm gonna stack these images, because I had to do some focus stacking for a couple of the flower wide angle shots, because they really, you can't get all that stuff in focus when you have flowers, when you have stuff in your foreground that close, and then epic stuff in the background. So I think maybe we'll just make this one a straight landscape vlog, and we'll go jump in the computer and edit. There is a bird right in front of me in perfect light. Okay, yeah, let's go switch gears. So real-time me is gonna go get ready for birding, and then vlog me, we'll see you back in the computer in just a second. All right, so back at home, made it back from Scotland. Everything went fine. Camera lady's a little bit sick though, so been taking care of her. That's why this video's been late. I did have the opportunity to do a little bit more landscape, especially during the workshop. We did some more landscape stuff, but you know, I try not to film during the workshops, so I really didn't get a chance to wrap anything up. But I do want to jump in the computer, and I want to show you how I edited that last image and a couple of other images that I think like took a little bit of effort. And it's not going to be a full editing tutorial, you know, but just as per my usual, I just kind of want to break down the steps and give you a rundown so that you can have an idea of the process of what's going on with, you know, from start to finish, that kind of thing. I've said it before, and I definitely won't ever stop saying it, but the more that you understand editing, whether you like to edit or not, or however you like to edit, I should say, the better you will get in the field at understanding what you need to do in camera to get it, and what you can get away with in post and all that stuff. So let's jump in. I'll show you a couple things. I'll show you a couple of images. And then if you stick around after that, I'll drop in some previously unreleased drone footage from around the castles and that area and stuff like that I'm pretty excited about seeing, but it doesn't really fit anywhere else in a video. So I'll put that up there at the end for you guys. And some drone shots that I got. I think maybe we'll edit one drone shot because I really liked how it turned out. But let's jump in here and see what's up. So here's that shot with the rainbow and the foxglove, the cool flower, the coast, all the good morning business. So I did focus stacking, and I did 3 shots. So I'm just going to grab these, and I will very quickly show you easy way to do it. So once you grab the ones you want, you can open them up in Camera Raw and tweak them all if you want. But then you just come in here to Photoshop, and do load files into layers. All right, so once those are in, I'll show you a little trick or just some steps that are behooving, especially because you guys saw how I was on a tripod, but it wasn't stable and it wasn't exactly perfectly lined up. So we're just going to select all these three, and we're going to come in here to Edit, Auto Align, and then hit Auto. So there, now you can see right here in this area, they weren't completely perfectly aligned, but now they are. So now that they are aligned, I can come in here and do Auto Blend. Okay, so it's all blended up, and there can definitely be some tricky areas with flowers and things like that, especially if it's windy, any kind of plants, trees, whatever that are moving around. And sometimes it doesn't do that great of a job, but in this time it did a good job. So you can see down here in the bottom where it has done the masking, and then it's merged it for me. So now we're ready to roll. All right, so after I merge that down, do a little crop because I decided I wanted this to be a 4x5. There just was a lot of negative space, not in the way that I wanted over here on the left side. So this will also crop in and punch in on the foxglove and the rainbow there, and then this beautiful coastline with the first light. So the next thing is just a little bit of fixins in Luminar, and I just kind of bring some of, a little more saturation, a little more pop. A little sharpening I did in Luminar as well, and then a little heal. So you'll notice right here the clouds were a little hot. So I just got the remove tool right here, and I just cleaned that up with the heal tool, so now there's no hot spots in the clouds. And then lastly, just another little bit of work on the sky, just to bring it out a little bit more. And that was it. So the biggest thing with this one was definitely the focus stacking, and luckily it worked out for me. Especially, I knew I was taking a risk doing it handheld, but that's how I roll. So I'm okay with it. I really enjoy this shot. I know it didn't do very well on my Instagram, but who cares, right? I love it. All right, let's look at this one. This one was super pain. Pain in the backside for sure. So a lot of work. This is the finished product here. Okay, so the first thing I had to do was a focus stack because you can see the flowers here are not in focus, and these flowers presented a pretty big problem because it was very windy. So I tried doing the focus stack like the way I just showed you, and it didn't work. Luckily, there's nothing going on up here, so I just took and did a manual blend. So that worked out pretty well. It just took me a few extra seconds to do it. And then the next thing, bringing it into Luminar again and just cleaning some things up. You'll notice right here, check this out. You see that area there where it looks, this castle kind of looks a little Tim Burton-ish, and that's my fault because I used a 16mm and I put the castle not in the center of the frame, and it's wonking out because of the wide angle distortion. This is one time when you don't want the wide angle distortion. Like with mountains, it's fine, but with architecture, it's not. So now it looks a little like Tim Burton-ish. So I fixed it a little bit, and there's better ways to do this, but I didn't. It didn't take the time. I also did a little bit more in Luminar and cleaned it up, with the colors and everything. And then now, back into Luminar one more time, I added just a pinch of light. The light was already there, but I added a little bit more to accentuate that. And then a little bit of healing. I just took out that rail, that guardrail. And then even more, just one more layer of saturation. I know a lot of people often tell me I oversaturate things. And you know what? I'm okay with it. I've learned to accept my ways. It's highly subjective. Let's keep moving. So then I fixed that business there from where I had warped the edges and with the fill tool. And then one last fixins. So one more, to do that, basically you can just hit Control T. And when you hit Control T, you can click on this interpolation on this stretchy business here. And this will allow you to pull
and stretch the image in different ways. But you can see, like, if you bring that in, like what it's doing there. So you have to be aware of that. And then you can pull from different areas too, you know, and you could do a lot of things. So that's what I did there. And I got the castle a lot better, but I still could have done a better job. But mostly I could have done a better job by photographing it properly. But that's all right. And then the last thing I did was add a little bit of a vignette and put the emphasis there on the castle and the flowers in the middle. So that was the big pain one. And it could probably, maybe I'll still work on it. Like if I were to put it up on my website or something, I'd still maybe work on it a little more. And I probably would pull the saturation down just a pinch, but I like it. Let's check out this drone shot here. So here's the raw DNG. So first thing I did was crop to a 16:9, just got rid of a little bit of the negative space on the bottom. And I like the 16:9 look for this because it fits really well, I think. Next thing, bring this into Luminar again and clean it up and make it pop. So that's looking pretty good. And then more healing, took out that guardrail again, just to clean things up. I probably could take out this brown patch too. If I just, here, I'll do that in a second. And then I really wanted to accentuate the side light because it really was there. And I just don't think I did the best job of capturing it. So just accentuating that with a little dodge and burn, bringing that stuff in on that side light there makes a wonderful difference. And now if I make a quick new layer, grab my remove tool, if I just wanted that distracting patch out of the way, there we go. So this was one of my more favorite drone shots. I got a couple of really cool drone shots. So I took this shot right here, and a camera lady took one that was very similar to this, and hers was much better because she got the good light. She also had a better lens for it. She had the 24-70, and her castle came out perfect, and her light was beautiful, and you know, she put these flowers more prominently. Very interesting. It's very her, very different from what I would have done, clearly, than from what I did do, and I really liked her shot much better than mine. I was also a little bit bummed that I didn't go back and reshoot this when the light was good. All right, so there you go. That's a little bit of a breakdown into some of the landscape stuff that I did in Scotland. I can't believe that it didn't rain at all for 10 days out there. Not one drop of rain. I never thought that I would see light. You know, of course you get good light in Scotland, but it's usually more fleeting. I mean, but we had like hours and hours of that light every single day. It was just incredible. So we lucked out there. Real quick, if you do want to join me next year, the registration is open for the same Scotland Seabirds and Seascapes workshops. It's going to be a little earlier next year. It's going to be the beginning of May, and there might be a back-to-back one because this one's already filling out. I think I've got 2 spots left, but if you want to check that out, links down below, and you'll definitely get your fill of castles, seascapes, and of course, a flock ton of seabirds. I do have one more video coming out, probably, hopefully. That's all going to be the seabird part of this, the birding aspect of this workshop, and just what I was able to get out there. I'm really looking forward to editing that one, but I haven't gotten to it yet. So stick around, subscribe if you haven't already, because that'll be coming out pretty soon, hopefully. I'll leave you with a few images extra of the landscape stuff that I got all around the east coast of Scotland, and hopefully some really cool drone footage that I have yet to edit, but I'm really excited to see it. If you want to join me for Scotland or any of my other workshops, I've got New England Fall coming up pretty soon in October. That's going to be in New Hampshire. I got 2 spots left on that one as well. I've got 1 or 2 spots open for private workshops for mid-October for New Mexico fall colors, which is going to be awesome. Bosque private workshops, birding, cranes, sandhill cranes, snow geese, winter ducks, all of the goods, raptors, you name it. That stuff starts mid-November, and goes through January. I run private workshops, all for that. Mid-December is already kind of filling up pretty fast, but I do have some late November and all of January open. So if you're interested in a private workshop, one-on-one with me in central New Mexico for Bosque, the most amazing birding ever. We'll say it ties with Scotland for the Isle of May and the puffins and all that stuff, but in the continental United States, definitely it's my favorite place for birding and my favorite time. So Winter Bosque private workshops, check those out if you're interested. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.